Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're here at Share in Dallas for a Futurum live from the show floor, and I'm joined by a dear friend of mine, Mark Wilson. Hey Mark, welcome to the show.
Hi Steve, good to be here. Thank you.
It's amazing where two people from with this accent can go, right? We can go all the way from the Black Country back in the UK to Dallas.
All the way to Dallas, yeah.
So for the listeners out there, Mark and I grew up about 10 miles away from each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Mark, tell the people watching, tell us a little bit about what you do for BMC.
So my official job title these days is Senior Director Consulting Services. So I lead a team, a global mainframe technical team. And basically we go out there and fix things for our clients. It might be a transformation, might be modernisation, might be performance, might be security. So we're out there, hands on the keyboards, helping our clients improve their mainframes, make them faster, quicker, more secure.
And Mark's too humble to say, but you're one of the world's experts on security.
I have a reputation for knowing a little bit about mainframe security, yes.
Obviously a ridiculous backstory and geopolitical landscape at the moment. What are you seeing from a mainframe security point of view? I think you've got a unique perspective that's really interesting. Love to share that with the people watching.
I think the thing that's most interesting about what's going on at the minute is the amount of change that we're seeing in people's attitudes and perceptions when it comes to mainframe security. They're starting to take it more seriously now. When we talk to them about security, you get interest. People are there talking to us, constantly asking us questions, and the engagement level now with the C-level execs when we start talking about this stuff is much better because the mainframe's not going away. It's the system of record. It's where the crown jewels are. And if somebody wants to hurt somebody, technically, that's where you go. Go and get the mainframe data. Yeah.
So as you're engaging with these customers, what's the requirements? What do they need? What's the needs? What are we seeing?
I mean, we're really being driven by two things at the moment. One is skills. So constantly, how do we train the next wave of techies? You can see people training application developers, but training the hardcore techies, and we're doing a lot, and you see IBM and BMC and Broadcom and all of those automating and making things much easier to do, but you still need people who understand how to fix it when it breaks.
And is BMC investing in that, the soft skills, the people side?
Absolutely, yeah. We run a mainframer in training program, and basically it's where we take raw graduates, 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 21, 22-year-olds, and we, over a 3-year period, grow them into mainframe technicians. For our next financial year, we're launching the BMC University. So it's an internal program where we're going to bring in graduates, we're going to bring in what we call the MITs, mainframer in training, bring them all together, and over that 2-3 year period, grow the next wave of techies that we need.
Fantastic. And you mentioned another dynamic. What else are you seeing in the industry?
Security is a big thing. We're seeing people realise now that the mainframe to the bad actor is just another platform. So we never spoke about ransomware on the mainframe, and it's a real threat. So you now start to see the hardware vendors, your Dells, your IBMs coming out with hardware solutions. What we've now got to do is start wrapping around that, the software and the services, to be able to allow us to exploit that hardware. Great technology, but we just don't know how to use it properly yet. And talking to the CIOs and the CEOs, yes, you've invested millions of dollars in the hardware, but how are we going to actually use it?
And I always know you have a packed schedule at this event, lots of speaking engagements. What are you talking about specifically over the next couple of days?
So, my first session, and it's at 7 o'clock in the morning. So
what did you do to somebody to get that session tomorrow morning?
I obviously upset somebody.
Monday night, we're out for a few beers later, and you've got 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I've got 7 o'clock in the morning. So the first session I'm actually doing on ransomware. So what would happen to an organisation if they suffered a ransomware attack on their mainframe? What would it look like? How would you recover? And what are the tools that you need to try and prevent? So that's the first one. I'm also doing one on, which probably put a smile on your face, integrity and what it means to a mainframer. So that's an interesting one.
Was it a short list and they'd run through it and they still needed somebody?
So I got invited to do that one. And then I'm also doing one on data leakage because the view of the mainframe has changed. It used to be that isolated, nobody connects to it kind of platform. Now in 22 and going forward, it's ultra connected, APIs everywhere, connectors everywhere. I was with Dave Jeffries yesterday from IBM, and he was talking about some of the stuff they're doing. He said, look, we've got a connector for everything. This one, this one, this one, and this one. We've got to make sure it's secure, and we've got to make sure, when we're moving data around, we know where it's going, and there's other technology to help us support us and do that.
I think that's a key theme that we're seeing from all of the conversations that I'm certainly having at the show, and you're echoing it there. The mainframes are more connected part of the digital transformation landscape, but you can't ignore the security and the data that's on that platform.
I mean, it's got to be an open and connected platform. It has to be. You go back to, I'm going to give away my age here, 1980, trainee operator, and somebody started in the business. You put a physical terminal on the desk, and you ran a cable up to a controller, and ran the cable from the controller to the mainframe. That's how they were connected. Not anymore. Yeah, it's
somebody's laptop in a Starbucks connected to a system of record.
And that's where you've got to start thinking about different forms of technology, and where is the person at the time that they're going to access the mainframe? Well, he's at home, or he's in his office, or actually no, he's in Dallas. Is that the right thing to be doing? And we're starting to see technology emerge now to allow us to do that, because security is not just one solution. It's a number of solutions all put together, tightly integrated, and the layers of the onion, as they call it. Yeah, and that's what we have to do.
Mark, great summary. Lots going on in the mainframe space. Thanks very much. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Futurum live from the show floor. We'll see you next time. Thanks very much for listening.